Did you know that the planet produces more than 350 million tons of meat per year? In this scenario, salami represents a market valued at $15 billion. In the European Union, where the tradition of cured meats is strong, about 21 million tons of processed products are manufactured annually. Among them is salami. But do you know how this product is made? Get ready to follow, step by step, how the selection of meats, the mixing of spices, fermentation, and curing come together with technology to create some of the most delicious pork sausages. Salami is one of the oldest sausages in Europe, with origins dating back to the Roman period. Historical records indicate that, even in ancient times, seasoned and cured meats in animal casings were common, both to preserve food and to provide new textures and flavors. In the Middle Ages, Italian communities from the regions of Lombardy and Piedmont began to perfect curing and drying techniques, creating recipes that, over the centuries, gave rise to different types of salami. With industrialization in the 19th century, grinding and stuffing machines and curing chambers emerged, allowing for increased production and making salami a popular food beyond Italian borders. The first step is choosing the meat and fat, which directly impacts the texture and flavor. In most factories, pork is used, mainly from lean cuts like the ham, combined with belly fat or fatback. In some cases, beef is added to adjust the consistency. In addition to these main ingredients, salt and spices are added, such as ground black pepper, garlic powder, and fennel seeds, and curing agents, chemical compounds that prevent the growth of unwanted bacteria and contribute to the reddish color. To ensure uniformity, all meats and fats arrive at the factory vacuum-packed and are stored in cold storage rooms between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius. Upon arrival at the factory, the batches of meat and fat undergo visual inspection and temperature checks. Technicians check the integrity of the packaging, the color of the meat, and the odor, ensuring there are no signs of spoilage. After inspection, the meat and fat are cut into smaller cubes to facilitate passage through industrial grinders. Grinding takes place in 2 phases. First, coarse grinding, using plates with larger holes to reduce the pieces to fragments. Then fine grinding, with plates with smaller holes that turn the material into a homogeneous mass. This double grinding ensures the characteristic texture of salami, with small visible fat granules and a firm consistency. Next, the resulting mixture is taken to continuous mixers or large vats, where salt and seasonings are added. At this stage, lactic bacteria cultures may be added, microorganisms that, during fermentation, produce acid and contribute to the slightly tangy flavor of salami. The mixing lasts between 10 and 15 minutes, which is enough time for all the ingredients to be evenly distributed. At the end, the technician takes a sample to check the salt content and the uniformity of the seasoning, adjusting the recipe when necessary. To develop binding and improve the texture, the seasoned mixture rests for a period of 2 to 4 hours in cold chambers at about 4 degrees Celsius. This resting period allows the meat proteins to better absorb the salt and form a stable network, preventing the sausage from falling apart after curing. In addition, this interval reduces the formation of lumps and makes stuffing easier in the next step. With the mixture ready, the stuffing process begins. The mixture is pumped into artificial or natural sausage casings. Automatic machines regulate the pressure to avoid the formation of air bubbles inside, which could cause moisture spots and compromise preservation. The diameter of the salami varies depending on the type, but it usually ranges between 3 and 5 centimeters for the most common types. After filling, operators seal the ends with metal clips or strings, forming links that are sent to the fermentation chambers. Right after filling, the salami links are carefully hung on racks inside climate-controlled chambers. Fermentation usually lasts between 2 and 3 days, with the temperature gradually rising from 20 to 24 degrees Celsius, and relative humidity close to 90%. At this stage, lactic acid bacteria consume the glucose added to the meat mixture, producing lactic acid and lowering the pH, which ensures flavor and microbiological safety. The air circulation is gentle, ensuring uniformity and preventing premature drying of the surface. Once fermentation is complete, drying begins in specific chambers where the temperature drops to 15 degrees Celsius and the humidity is slowly reduced to about 70%. This process can last for a period ranging from 15 to 45 days, depending on the size of the salami and the desired level of curing. During this time, the loss of water is gradual, concentrating flavors and firming the texture. The quality inspector performs regular inspections, measuring the weight loss, which usually ranges between 20 and 30% of the initial weight, and monitoring the water activity to ensure that the product meets safety and quality standards. Before moving on to slicing or packaging whole salamis, each batch undergoes strict quality control. Technicians perform microbiological tests to check for the absence of pathogenic bacteria, analyze the texture through cutting and sensory evaluation, and check the fat and salt content. Machine vision systems can be used to identify surface imperfections, such as unwanted molds. Only when all parameters are approved does the salami move on to the next stage. For sliced salami, the whole pieces are cut into uniform slices by automatic machines, with thickness ranging from 2 to 5 millimeters. The slices are then placed in polyethylene trays, sealed in a modified atmosphere, a mixture of gases that slows oxidation and the development of microorganisms, and packaged in plastic films. In the case of salami sold in whole pieces, it is wrapped in shrink film or vacuum packed, ensuring a longer shelf life. All packages receive labels with information about the batch, manufacturing date, expiration date, and storage instructions. After being packaged, the salami goes to cold storage rooms where it stays between 4 and 8 degrees Celsius until shipment. The logistics involve palletizing, transportation in climate-controlled trucks, and distribution to distribution centers or directly to supermarkets and butcher shops. Thanks to the low water content and the use of curing agents, salami can remain stable for several weeks, depending on the type of packaging and storage conditions, without losing flavor or quality. And that was today's video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.